Everybody has a right to feel safe in public spaces. TRACS is our transit-specific community safety team working with the transit-specific peace officers.
Yeah, he's on a ban list for assault with a weapon.
We do know, based on the data, is when the police members are in transit areas, crime goes down. When we are not there, crime goes up.
Hello, time to get up. You okay? Okay, man, so you don't have any warrants. Do you have a list of the different shelters and warming stations and drop-ins that you can go to during the day? I'll give you a card for the navigation center. You been there yet?
By being present in an area, people will see you, and the people that are there for illicit behavior or illegal behavior, they're going to leave, or we're going to immediately address it. You have the right to feel safe taking transit. It also has to be that way at midnight or at 7 in the morning. This isn't a preference, it's a right. We do not tolerate any illegal activity. By addressing those issues, you're creating a safer public space.
Feeling safe isn't a choice. It is a right, as we heard from Edmonton Police Service. However, ensuring safety in underground transit facility comes with challenges, visibility, and fast-changing situation. In partnership with DRDC and Esri Canada, Edmonton Police Service created a solution with geospatial awareness and real-time data insights. Let's hear their story from Ron and Adam.
Good morning, everyone. Edmonton Police Service provides policing to 1.2 million people within the city of Edmonton, and another 400,000 people live around the Edmonton area. Many of those people use transit to get to work, to get to downtown, and get to sporting activities in the Edmonton area. During the pandemic, like many large municipalities across North America, our downtowns were hollowed out by work-from-home mandates and other issues related to the pandemic. That created for us in the transit section of our service an issue around homelessness, drug addiction, and unfortunately also violence in our transit system. In response to that, Edmonton Police Service developed the TRACS team, which you just saw in the video, along with the provincial government providing funding for 100 additional officers. With 100 additional officers comes additional problems of logistics for us. We were not able to know at that time who was above ground or underground in our transit centers. We were not able to identify where officers were in proximity to each other when they were underground or on transit. And we weren't sure if we were deploying them as accurately as we possibly could because we lacked some of the data around that information. Next, we're going to hand it over to Adam, and he's going to take us through some of the solution.
Located in the heart of Edmonton's Arts District is Churchill Square. It's one of the city's central public gathering places. Now, throughout the year, this area will host major festivals, community events, and public gatherings. Though, as we've just heard, it continues to suffer from ongoing issues related to crime and public safety. Let's see if we can enhance our understanding of this area. Using ArcGIS reality capture, we can combine the latest in drone imagery and LiDAR scanning data to create an immersive, high-resolution 3D mesh. This mesh highlights the terrain, infrastructure, and buildings within the area. You can see the CBC building, Edmonton City Hall, as well as the beautiful Art Gallery of Alberta. Now we can further enhance our 3D mesh using ArcGIS City Engine, adding features like procedurally generated trees, as well as realistic surfaces and textures. I think it looks great. Now beneath Churchill Square is Churchill Station. It's a multi-floor light rail train station serving thousands of commuters every day. It's a vital node in the city's overall transportation network. It connects the Valley Line, Metro Line, and Capital Lines. Now, this building information model, or BIM, was created using the same data that was used to create the high-resolution mesh. It contains exterior features, including the pedestrian walkways that connect to arterial buildings, as well as interior features, things like ticketing kiosks, escalators, and elevators. Let's take a trip down to the track level. Now, every day we use GPS to help us to get where we need to go. Maybe you used it today to get here to this convention center. But when we're indoors, underground, surrounded by dense infrastructure, we can't rely on GPS signals for navigation and wayfinding. So instead, we use IPS, Indoor Positioning Systems. And we do this by deploying a network of Bluetooth beacons throughout the station. These beacons are about the size of a case of AirPods, and they just stick to the wall with adhesive tape. You can see one at the top of the ladder fixed to the wall in this photo. And once these beacons are deployed, they emit a low-energy Bluetooth signal that can be received by your mobile device or wearable, and that can be used to calculate your position indoors. In this video, we see members of the Transit Community Safety, or TRACS team, on a routine safety patrol of the station. Here they're on the track level. It's a relatively busy day. On the left-hand side, we see the ArcGIS Indoors mobile application. As the TRACS team make their way through the station, their position is calculated via their mobile device and wearables with the help of our indoor positioning system, and visualized within the ArcGIS Indoors mobile application is a dynamic moving blue dot. Now, additionally, the team can use ArcGIS Indoors Mobile to help locate station critical infrastructure, emergency equipment like fire extinguishers or portable defibrillators, and even locate each other in the event that they're separated. As part of this proof of concept, we also looked at integrating with officer body-worn cameras, which are becoming more prevalent around police forces throughout Canada and are vital for transparency and safety, not only for our officers, but for members of the public as well. Okay, so far we've looked at indoors and IPS from the perspective of our officers on the ground. I'd like to switch gears now and look at it from the perspective of an operator in a command center. Again, we find our TRACS team on patrol of the station. Here they're still underground, one level up from track level on the concourse level. And on the left-hand side, an application that was developed using the Maps SDK for JavaScript. Now, this application allows the operator to view in near real time the location of these officers underground, capability that just would not be possible without indoors and IPS. Additionally, we added this nice heat map visualization. This helps us indicate the overall accuracy of the system as the officers make their way through, and helps us to monitor the overall health of our IPS deployment. Our operator can also use ArcGIS dashboards to, again, see the locations of our officers indoors, but also integrate with additional sources of data. So as part of this project, we deployed additional IoT sensors throughout the station to gather telemetry, including temperature and air quality, not only important for our officers, but for members of the public as well. We also examined footfall data, so the number of people entering and exiting the station throughout the day, and that gives us an idea of overall station capacity at any given time, which can be important for measuring officer response times. Finally, we integrated with the system, with the station's security camera system, providing an overall enhanced picture for situational awareness. Okay. Finally, I'd like to share with you an application that was developed using the Maps SDK for Unreal Engine. This application combines data from both the building information model and 3D mesh to create a truly immersive and unique experience. Let's start with a bird's eye view of Churchill Square and think about how an application like this could be used for pre-event planning for some of those major festivals I talked to about earlier, to help give someone an idea of the layout of the square and if there are any locations which might be required to address security needs. Jumping into a first-person perspective, we can think about officer onboarding, helping to have an officer understand the layout of the station, the location of emergency features before they have to go on that first patrol. And finally, officer training, having the ability to replay an officer's position as they respond to an incident, and then learning from that experience. And I think we're just scratching the surface of what's possible when we use ArcGIS indoors and IPS to help improve situational awareness in environments like Churchill Station.
Couldn't agree more. For the Edmonton Police Service, the outcomes we've achieved in this is better response times underground, better officer safety by knowing where exactly they are throughout the transit systems. Virtual staging, as we referenced, can be done if we have a major incident in the underground or in our current transit environment, as well as the ability to share this type of data with other emergency services down the line. What does the future hold for this? In Edmonton, we've already started 3D mapping the remainder of our pedways and our underground walkways with our GIS team. We're looking at the West Edmonton Mall. As we all well know, that's a large center in the city of Edmonton where we have difficulty obtaining officer location information. And we're hopeful that we can get it into places like Rogers Place in downtown Edmonton for when Toronto Maple Leafs come to defeat the Edmonton Oilers next spring. So thank you very much.